Hello everyone and welcome back to Canada and Beyond. My name is Jihen. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. In this channel, we talk a lot about Canadian immigration. We share all the new programs that Canada immigration offers. We also share with you the Canadian lifestyle through our vlogs. We try to show you what to expect when you move to Canada and how life is in Canada, especially in the Atlantic side of the country. If you are interested in these topics, please make sure to subscribe. In this video, I will be talking about Islam in Canada, more specifically how you are being treated as a Muslim in Canada, especially if you are a female that's wearing hijab. Hijab is the headscarf that female Muslims wear to cover their hair, gives them modesty and everything. The reason I chose to talk about this topic today because I've had a lot of inquiries to my social medias, Instagram and Facebook. People are reaching out, especially females, Muslim who are wearing hijab. They are especially asking how females are treated in Canada if they are wearing hijab. And this might be a little bit, I don't know, like to me when I read it the very first time, I understand the feeling of these ladies, especially if they have been, seeing a lot of medias out there and thinking that people are very, racist and all. The way I see it, it's like, I never felt any of that here in Canada, and that's why it gives me like, that feeling of like, why you guys are asking these questions? Absolutely not. Nothing is gonna happen, right? So this video is for you ladies. I just want to share with you that, since I moved here to Canada, I never felt like I have been judged by my hijab, by the way I dress up. I have had 3 different jobs here in Canada. In all my interviews, face-to-face interviews, nobody made that, like that shock of like, oh, she's wearing hijab, I'm not gonna hire her, or no, she's Muslim, I'm not gonna hire her. Absolutely not. They always, looked at my resume, they saw my experience, especially I've, studied in US and I was a bright student. Osman might be jealous of that, but that's the truth. And I love that, people only looked at my, at my skill set. They didn't see that I wear this or I dress up this or, I want to assure you that, once you step in this country, there are good and bad people everywhere, even in my home country, it's a Muslim country, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be like, oh, why she chose to do this, right? But as I said, there are good and bad everywhere, but alhamdulillah, luckily the way we live here in Atlantic Canada especially, it's so diverse that, I'm not the only one wearing hijab, that, wearing like an Islamic dress or an Islamic hijab, it's not something weird or something, it's not a unique anymore. You go to the grocery stores and you find like ladies, Syrian, especially because when the war of Syria happened, Atlantic Canada brought a lot of refugees here, to New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, and now it's very open-minded that they know what to expect, right? They know that we eat halal, we don't shake hands, we do this and that certain ways. So they are very open-minded now, and they are very understanding about our customs, and it's very appreciative, because when I lived in US, the part that Osman and I lived in US, it was very white dominant. There wasn't a lot of different races over there. It was either American, pure American, or Mexican. So when they saw me wearing hijab, and I can tell you I was the only girl in that whole city, in the whole college wearing hijab, the questions I got back then, it was not a racism question. It was more of like, what is this? Why you are wearing that? You know, those type of questions. It's more of questions of curiosity. People over there, they didn't know what's going on, right? They were not as understanding of the Islamic custom as people here in Canada, especially because, you know, it's more diverse nowadays. I really want to assure you that, you know, there's nothing out there. Like, if you are wearing hijab, it's not gonna be like that big of a deal here for Canadian, because they're so used to it. They know all of our customs, and it's not, and trust me, I didn't see anybody judge me because I'm wearing hijab. Deep down they know that, you know, I'm still following my customs, following my culture, and they love that, because even though you live in Canada, it's always nice to have your own identity. And to make it even more reassuring, today we'll be sharing with you a special event that just happened here in our little city of St. John. We just celebrated Women Hijab Day. It was 1st of February. So the Muslim Association of New Brunswick had made 3 days event to celebrate this day, this Women Day Hijab. They did 3 events. One day was in University of New Brunswick, one was New Brunswick Community College, and then one day event at the MANB, the Muslim Association of New Brunswick. And this event was about, you know, obviously wearing hijab, but the beauty of it that a lot of non-Muslim ladies had came in. They were allowed to try to wear hijab and be in our shoes for a day, you know, and it was such a beautiful experience to them. You know, they were trying on hijab and they were asking all these questions, and do you get hot during summer and all that. And it was absolutely a beautiful experience for them and for the Muslims here to be able, you know, to network and, you know, share our thoughts with these curious Canadian basically who wanted to learn more. And you'll notice that in Canadian, that even though they don't know something, they'll try to understand in a very polite way, you know. I just want to tell you, rest assured, there's nothing to worry about. If you are a Muslim and planning to move to Canada, I think Canada is one of the best welcoming countries for Muslims. We've had a lot of refugees from Syria, Afghanistan, you know, a lot of Tunisian come here and choose Canada to live. A lot of Pakistanis. These are all Muslims countries, and they are living, you know, absolutely happy. I didn't hear anything crazy going on out there. To take it to a next level, we have one of the city councilors. She's a hijabi. She converted to Islam when she got married, and after that she wore hijab, and she's a member of the city councilor. So it's really amazing to know that there is someone who's representing you on the city board that shares your customs, shares the way you do things, shares your, you know, your religion. And with that being said, I get also more questions about, are you able to celebrate Ramadan? Are you able to celebrate Eid in Canada and everything? Absolutely yes. You know, in our, for example, in my job and in Usman's job, we have these Floaters Day holiday, that these are basically a holidays that we can take them any day we want, and usually they know that Ramadan is coming, so there is Eid after, then we take those days after, we take those holidays during that time. Back to Eid celebration and Ramadan celebration, it absolutely had been improving, you know, since 2 years ago when we moved. I remember a lot of people say things have been different here in New Brunswick and the Maritime, because, you know, there wasn't a lot of diversity, there wasn't a lot of people moving here, you know, who are especially Muslims and all. But this is not the case anymore. Luckily, we're having a really diverse city, and I'm getting a lot of inquiries about, you know, a lot of people from different parts of the world trying to, you know, choosing St. John to be their home city and all. So you can see that, you know, the city is now diverse, and it's going to be more diverse down in the future. And I remember, for example, last year the Muslim Association of New Brunswick made this beautiful poster for celebrating Ramadan, and you know, it says like happy Ramadan, Ramadan Kareem, and then like 2022 or something. And these are posters you can put outside on your lawn, outside of your house, or outside of your apartment, just kind of telling the neighborhood that we're celebrating Ramadan. And you know, a lot of our neighbors, even though we moved recently last year to this new neighborhood, a lot of our neighbors, after Ramadan ended, they reach and they're like, oh, happy holidays, we've read the sign and we know you guys are celebrating Ramadan, so we didn't want to bother you and everything, but happy holidays and everything. And this is how you can see how thoughtful and how knowledgeable Canadians really are nowadays, because you know, the city is becoming more diverse and all. After that, we had a beautiful Eid celebration in the morning. The Muslim Association of New Brunswick prepared the prayer, the salat, and then after that, you know, we had like nice dinners and nice parties. Usman and I obviously made a vlog, so I'll link that up here. So yeah, make sure to watch it if you want to know more about how we celebrated Eid last year. So this video was meant for you out there. If you are one who's Muslim, or your family is Muslim, your wife is wearing hijab, or your girls are wearing hijab, and still, you know, trying to decide if St. John or the Maritime is a good option for you to move here and still be, you know, welcomed and everything. This video was for you. I really hope that, you know, I give you some reassuring that life here is really beautiful. You know, everybody's welcoming. Islam is not a foreign thing to Canadian or to the Maritimers anymore. We are very lucky to have, you know, when I walk down the grocery store, I see, you know, people talking in Egyptian, you know, wearing hijab and abaya and all that. You can feel like, you know, you belong here, whatever. There are other people who look exactly like you, who, you know, dress up like you, who have their customs like you and all. So because a lot of people would think that, no, I should move to Ontario, you know, Toronto or Mississauga, they have better Muslims community over there, it's much bigger there and all, but that's not the case anymore. You know, these Maritimes, New Brunswick and all, they're very diverse. There's a heavily big community of Muslims here in St. John, in Moncton, in Fredericton. Halifax, Nova Scotia is huge nowadays. You know, there's a lot of Muslims out there. Halal food is everywhere. You know, even Costco here in St. John sells all kind of halal food, all kind of halal meat, chicken. They have recently changed their Kirkland brand to only sell halal chicken. So I'm very much hoping that their beautiful, nice roasted chicken is gonna be halal as well. So this is all the reassuring to us Muslim here, that the city is, you know, keeping in mind that there are Muslims here, so we should sell more halal food and all. So it's really beautiful. I really hope that this video gave you some reassuring, gave you some explanation and some expectation about how a Muslim family live here in St. John. We have a lot of videos about, you know, how we did celebrate Ramadan and Eid here in St. John, New Brunswick. I'll link those in the description, or you'll find them linked somewhere up here. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up, comment down below, and you know, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And please, if I am mistaken, if you know you are a Muslim who live here in Maritime, please comment down below. What's your experience? How have you been feeling? Maybe my experience is different than other people, but I'd love to hear everybody's input. This is it.